growing up, I went to a Catholic church. I kind of grew up Catholic. So for us, we just went to church every Sunday. My parents were loving, they were kind, and they were moral. And so they tried to instill all those values in me. But we rarely, if ever, talked about Jesus. So I had no concept, no idea of what it meant to live my life for Him. I just thought I was supposed to be a good person and do the right things, and God would be happy with me. It wasn't until my freshman year of high school that I really found my identity in sports. I played football and I was okay at it, I guess, so a lot of the juniors and seniors started paying attention to me. They started giving me respect. They started being nice to me. And in my mind, it was because I was just good at football. And so that began to be my identity. I began to eat, sleep, breathe sports, and soaking up when people would tell me that I was good, or soaking up just the popularity I would get at school from that. So that is where I found my sense of worth. I remember before my junior season of football, the whole team went to this camp to practice, and one of the guys ended up bringing alcohol, and I didn't want to actually drink alcohol, but I wanted the other guys to like me. So I remember going to the cabin when no one was there, pouring out the alcohol and pretending like I was drunk so I would fit in and they think I was cool. And it just started to sink in that I was being fake. This wasn't who I really was. This wasn't who I wanted to be. And so after my junior year, my dad got a new job and we had to totally relocate to a new city. And so we ended up moving, and I remember just thinking, I don't want to be fake anymore. I don't want to try to impress people. I just want to be me. And I think that was the beginning of me being honest with myself. And me being honest with myself, I could then start to realize that I was a sinner and I needed God's grace. I needed God's forgiveness through Jesus. My conversion kind of ties into the end of my high school time where we moved. And as I said, I remember just thinking I want to be real with people and be real with myself. I'm tired of trying to please other people. And it was during my senior year that these two guys from Young Life, Dave and Ben, just started hanging out with me. They started going to my football games. They started going out to eat with me. They started taking me golfing, and they just really genuinely cared about who I was and how I was doing. And I went to Young Life camp after my senior year of high school, and it was at camp where they just spelled out that I was a sinner and there was nothing I could do to fix it. Because I remember being a Catholic boy that I had all these solutions around. Well, if I pray, well, if I go to Mass, well, if I help the elderly cross the street, then I'll be okay. And they kept telling me, no, that won't help you. And it was then that they finally introduced the solution, which was Jesus Christ paying the price for me on the cross, and He paid for my sins. And it was then that it started to sink in, and they give you 20 minutes to kind of go think about it after they kind of share the gospel message with you. And I remember sitting out there looking up at the sky and just thinking, I remember one of the leaders, Ben, was 18, and he had just finished his freshman year. And I was 18 and just finished my senior year. I was actually older than him. And I remember sitting there thinking, he's hanging out with me, a senior in high school, and 6 other freshmen, when he could have been at college partying, having fun. And I was like, what is it that made him do that? Why did he think it was so important to come spend a week with us, snotty, bratty little kids? And it sunk in that he loved us so much that he wanted to share Jesus Christ with us. And I remember saying to God in a prayer that it wasn't an elaborate, it wasn't a sinner's prayer. I just said, I'm in. I remember saying to God, I'm all in. And from then on, been walking with Jesus. It hasn't always been easy, but since I came to Christ, my problems haven't all went away. I still have issues. I still have things the Lord's working on me on. But the difference that I notice now is that He's right there beside me. When I fall down, I don't have to pick myself up. I just call out to Him and He picks me up, and He gives me the power to try to do what pleases Him. And one of the things that I struggle with, maybe it's me being a guy, maybe it's my personality, is I kind of want to work to pay back God for what He's done for me. But it doesn't work that way. God has paid for what we've already done on the cross, and all we have to do is live in a joy and obedience. And kind of that's sometimes where it gets hard for me. And God's still working on me in that area. But like I was saying earlier, He is there, and I know that He's there, and that just gives me a peace and a comfort amidst my struggles and in my trials.